Good day, my name is Philip. One of my friends called me and what is happening to the economy? What are price of goods and services at the increase? Things are hard. People are not even giving money. People are being stingy, whatsoever, and they are blaming the Ukraine and Russia war. Philip, can you just try and dissect this stuff because I don't seem to understand where the Ukraine war and the Russia or the Russia invasion of Ukraine has implication globally, and also Africa is not out of place, especially even in Nigeria, we're not out of place. So this in this episode, I just want to give a foundation of why countries depend on one another for survival or for their growth. For survival or for their growth. So I've been looking at it. So, like I said, that every man is not an island of itself. The same thing goes for every country. I'll give you a simple analogy. A newborn baby depends on its mother's breasts for survival, for growth, and for development. The same thing, a citizen also depend on its government, be it federal or state, for its health, protection, and security, and so forth, as is in the constitution. So every citizen depends on their government, be it autocratic or democratic. The same thing, like I was saying, no country is totally dependent on its own. They are not an island of itself. They depend on another country for their survival, for their growth, development, advancement, and progress. Every country have been blessed with both natural and artificial resources, and those resources have to be developed to a large capacity, and also has to also be modelized so that they can be able to take care of their own people, and also have enough to take care of people that will need it, so they can generate revenue. Now that I've put down the foundation, since Russia invaded Ukraine, what has been the implication in the world? What has been the implication in Africa and in Nigeria? So in this episode, I just want to look at the natural and artificial resources of both countries. If you have been in the news or you have been reading the news, you heard that wheat, both countries combined together produce 80 or 90%. Some sources will say 70%, but 80 or 90% of the wheat consumption or the world global consumptions of such agricultural goods. So you could see by the left hand side, whereby we put in energy and agricultural goods. These are resources that both countries are blessed with. Russia have been blessed with natural resources because of petroleum gas, petroleum, crude petroleum, and coal. They have what they call absolutely comparative advantage over Ukraine. It means if you put Ukraine and Russia side by side, Russia has what they call absolute comparative advantage in terms of their natural resources, and even artificial. You can look at the petroleum gas, petroleum, crude petroleum, coal, even in wheat and fertilizer, except in corn, whereby Ukraine has a absolutely comparative advantage. But if you put them side by the difference between comparative advantage and absolute comparative advantage is that one country has an head over another country in terms of the natural resources or artificial resources. Then when you talk about comparative advantage, it means that two countries put side by side can be leveled, or there is no much dominant between both countries. So you can look at this, you can look at it. So most of the world or the global economics or developing economics or developed economics, in other words, globally, people depend on Russia and Ukraine for these both artificial and natural resources. They're not the only countries that most countries depends on or do trade with. Some countries do trade with other countries that may have also the same natural resources or artificial resources. So at this episode, at this junction, I want to stop there, since I've laid the foundation telling you that countries are not totally independent of themselves. They're not an island. They depend on each other so they can progress, advance, grow, and develop. See you in the next episode.